This show is only made possible because of donations. And you can donate as little as you want, but one thing people don't talk about, you can donate as much as you want to.
Hey.
As much as you want. Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Ensure that this show continues by giving us as much as you want.
You want to do 1 million? You can do
it!
You can do it. We won't stop you.
Gum there the whole time.
There was gum there the whole fucking time, you idiot. I told you I was chewing gum and you already forgot.
I forgot.
This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Stealing.
I'll do it.
It's wrong.
I'll do it right now.
That's not what I
I'm
expected
hiding
you
gum
to
in
say.
my mouth. I'll steal shit from people.
You're such a rebel.
I'll do it.
You don't care.
Name it, man. I'm just trying to feel alive.
No, come on. You don't steal. Have you shoplifted when you were a kid, but you don't do that anymore.
I don't know, Jeff. We don't have to talk about it. Why the interrogation? What are you getting
Well,
at?
our boy Alik Evans sent us another story.
Alik Evans!
He is money in the bank, Alik Evans.
He's
with
an
the
all-star.
Stories. He sent it to wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
That guy sends in one more story. I may give him a nickname.
What's the nickname?
I don't know. He has to send in one more story. You got to do that off the top of your dome when you feel it.
All right. I can't wait for that. Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen. This is a story about self-service checkouts at the way of the future.
No, everybody steals from those.
Well, it turns out you're right.
Yeah.
These are, they replace the actual human being at the cash register with a self-service. You scan it yourself. You put it in your bag. It checks the weight. You make sure, and then I think very convenient. I always go to that lane because I'm usually in and out of the grocery store.
Great service, very convenient, very speedy, saves you a lot of money.
Well, evidently a little more than it should, because turns out there's a UK company that did a study on this, and they found out that it encourages stealing, and not for the reason that I would think. So the reason that I would think is because it's easy to steal. That's not what they came to. The reason that they came to as believing that it encourages stealing, or
can I guess?
Yeah.
Because I think I have it.
Okay.
The technology doesn't work and people get frustrated, and so they just throw the thing in their bag after they try to scan it a couple times, and they're like, forget it.
That's a little of it, but that's not their main thesis. They say it normalizes stealing because it separates you from human beings. And that once we dehumanize anything, it becomes, there's no victim. It's a victimless crime. It's the same thing as...
I would argue that's just a fancy way of saying it's easier.
Well, I think it for me, when I read this story, I associated it with piracy. Because I'm not a person that would ever shoplift. I've never shoplifted in my life.
But he has killed people in international waters. Jeff Canada
anything goes in international waters.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything goes. And to be honest...
It's dehumanizing to be out there.
It is. And I needed those groceries.
You're separated from humanity.
Yeah.
You're looking at a cruise ship and you're like, I'm out of walnuts.
I need, you know what? I don't want scurvy. I need some fresh fruits.
Get me a bag of walnuts while you're over there.
All I got at the grocery store was this Bowie knife.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't even pay for it because I used the self-checkout. Looked around, saw nobody was looking. I said, whoop, Bowie knife.
That's why I put that thing in my teeth.
Name for David Bowie.
I swim. What?
Name for David Bowie.
David Bowie's knife.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Mm-hmm. That's a historical note.
Yes.
For our foreign viewers.
No, so the idea I have in my, sordid past, my dark past.
Yeah.
I have pirated rampantly movies, video games.
You are America's bad boy.
I am America's bad boy. I took the Bowie knife of digital rights and I sliced into all that DRM.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Like you look at a finished album or a movie or a video game, and it's abstracted from the people that created it. This is not a person on the street drawing your caricature. This is a thing, and you've reduced it to ones and zeros, and like you probably weren't going to pay $50 for it anyway. And
right.
So I've got a
rationalization,
and
and
it's easy, and I'm going to do it.
And there's no human being that I have to walk past to pick it up and bring it to my house.
Right.
And so they're saying that because you're separated from a human being, you're separated from the perception of a victim.
Yeah. Well, also, okay. Sure. I think so. I get that. I think that's very forgiving towards humanity and our human nature, because here's the thing. Like, yeah, it's a victim. It is kind of a victimless crime. Stealing, the larger the corporation is, the less there's really a victim. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's how we rationalize too. Yeah.
In a way.
Right.
So by saying that, you're kind of like, oh no, people are good. It just kind of looks, to them, it feels like they're not taking from anyone. But I honestly believe that if you told me like, hey, you should steal this bread, right? Yeah. And they're like putting it up my shirt or in my pants or whatever versus doing the self-checkout method. Literally the only thing that's a bigger red flag to me is I'm more likely to be caught if it's in my pants. It has nothing to do with now I'm standing in front of somebody as I'm walking out and I'm worried about that person and their job. I'm worried that person, because it's their job, is going to get me arrested. I don't care. I don't care about the Albertsons Corporation.
Really?
No, man.
Really?
You don't give a fuck about... Fuck Albertsons. I said it. Fuck the Albertsons Corporation.
You want to apologize?
Fuck David Alexander Albertson and his entire family.
He's like one of our biggest fans.
Fuck them.
They love this show.
Fuck him and all his humanitarian exploits.
All of the little...
Fuck all those orphans David Alexander Albertson supports.
They all
he gave all his money away? He gave all his money away. The vast Albertsons fortune.
Did they?
Gave it all to children.
Yeah, you hate those children.
Gave it all to children. But you know what? You know what? He sent them all to pirate school.
Pirate school?
Out on the international waters.
International waters. Give
Everybody
them all a Bowie
thinks
knife.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
David Alexander Albertson, he's like Lex Luthor.
I heard
Looks good from the outside.
He and all the kids
Steal the bread next time you're in there. The next time you go to the grocery store, take shit.
I don't think that's the message.
That's the message. You read the story. I didn't read the story.
All the Albertsons brood, the entire family, they sit around every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
You mean like William Fitzsimmons Albertson?
Yeah.
And Dana Cartwright Albertson.
Yeah.
All of them.
Janet Montgomery Albertson. They all sit around and they listen to We Have Concerns.
All 37 of them. We're going to name them right now. We can list them right now.
If you want.
We got 34 to go.
They all sit around and they listen to We Have Concerns.
Yeah.
Because they love this show so much.
They're patrons. And they give us money every month. But you know what? This has to stop. This has to stop. I'm going to steal from you.
Mr. Albert and all the Albert sons.
Yeah.
They're all
sons of Albert.
Yeah.
They really just believe that the only thing that's stopping us is, or the thing that makes us steal at the self-checkout. Because I'll tell you what, when I was a poor struggling young man on the mean streets of a very nice neighborhood in Brooklyn, we used the self-checkout so we could steal shit.
Well, how would you do it? Because that's another facet of this story that I'm such an idiot.
You want me to tell people how to steal from Albertsons
I wouldn't even realize this article goes into what people do, which is they just scan the same inexpensive thing over and over and then put the heavier thing from their bag to the weighing station. So it's not that they're stealing for whole cloth, they're just paying for the least expensive thing in their bag over and over again.
Yeah.
And
well,
or just once, maybe there's like a really expensive thing and they just do a...
Some of them don't even have the weight pressure plate.
They don't?
No. So sometimes they tell you that they do, but they don't really have one.
I wouldn't even think of that.
Yeah.
It never even occurred to me that you could just scan something and then place a different thing in the out box.
Haven't you ever seen Temple of Doom? I'm sorry, Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders with the
Raiders?
sand.
It's the same shit.
This is the gold idol to
if you
sandbag.
steal from your local Albertsons, you're Indiana Jones. You're a hero.
That's not what we want.
Don't be Alfred Molina.
They're all listening.
Alfred Molina is the worst. You don't want to be that guy.
No, they're all sitting around listening to the show right now.
Hey, listen up, little Janet Montgomery Albertson with your cough that they can't identify.
Horrible.
I hope you choke.
Oh no.
You know what though? To prove this story true, the fact that I named her and then turned her into a little girl.
It was harder for you.
Even though she's not real, it made it harder for me to say I hope you choke.
Well, you gave her tuberculosis.
I didn't give her tuberculosis. I said they couldn't figure out what it is, Jeff.
Well,
and that's even sadder.
We all know what it really was.
That's even sadder.
We all know
because
it's the
I'd
TB.
like to think at this point we'd know if it was TB. If there was a rich grocery magnate and he took his young daughter to a doctor and he said, figure out this cough, I'd like to think they'd think tuberculosis, pretty quick. I'd like to think we have a test for that this imaginary grocery magnate could afford.
You'd think that?
Yeah, I'd think that.
But, he gave all his money away.
To all those kids that he turned into pirates. It all comes back to that. Now I'm not sorry anymore, and I hope she does choke. I forgot about the imaginary pirates that I also made up.
The other thing that people point out in this article, the quotes from the people that they surveyed, is that there's sort of a justification because of the automation of the task. Like, oh, you took people out of the equation?
Yeah.
Screw you, I'm stealing. Because you're screwing over people, you big corporate monolith. You are cutting corners by removing the salary of a human being. Therefore, I'm justified in scanning carrots instead of that VCR I wanted.
Nah,
TV VCR that
I think like
combination TV VCR that's worth $300 to $400 US.
What you do is you scan an apple instead.
Yeah, you got carrots. It says carrots, and you're getting a TV VCR combo.
One bag of baby carrots, and you walk out
It's
with
the same weight.
You walk out with like a Sylvania or an Emerson, like a real nice 13-inch TV VCR combo.
They are the same weight scientifically. A bag of baby carrots and a TV VCR combo. Dude, that thing is a TV, 13 inches, a pure color television with like a little VCR stuck to the bottom. It's an amazing thing.
It's a great gift. The kids love it because it's self-contained, you know?
Right.
And they can watch their shows whenever they need to.
Yeah, just throw on the tape into the VCR.
Little Janet Montgomery when she's sitting in her bubble. It's not really a bubble. It's more like a room that's covered in plastic.
Yeah.
And she's very isolated in there.
You know what the real irony is? The thing that really clears up that mysterious condition is just a bag of baby carrots.
That's all she needs.
That's the real irony, is that you bought her a TV VCR combo and you paid for a bag of carrots, but if you just bought the carrots.
But do you know why it was the carrots? It goes back to a moment in her childhood when her father, who was never around because he was too busy running the nation's grocery store chain, just wouldn't bring her the baby carrots. Every night he'd come home and Papa, did you bring the baby carrots?
Well, no, of course I didn't. I don't have time for such things. Why don't you watch another of your story tapes?
Oh, Papa, I do love my story tapes, but I do so wish I had a crunchy, natural, and healthy snack with which to pair it.
You'll be fine.
If my papa won't give it to me, who will?
Just eat this chocolate bar, laced with some sort of mysterious chemical from my plants. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that was foreshadowing. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I have a feeling it's got something to do with that chocolate.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
But it really has to do with heartbreak.
Little boy,
that was the real cause of death. And when the very expensive doctor,
that's why they couldn't figure it out,
from the Mayo Clinic came out.
Yeah,
because he choppered his daughter to the Mayo Clinic, to the best people, and the guy just came out and he was like, "Look, we ran all the tests and it was straight up a broken heart."
That's when they gasped. They all gasped. All of them sitting around listening to We Have Concerns on the radio.
What they do is they tape this off of YouTube and they watch it on the 13-inch.
Yeah.
Because it feels intimate.
There's video now.
I don't know, man. It really is giving all of these people way, way more credit than, I don't know, just based on my own black heart, I think humanity deserves.
Well,
because it's like, oh, you removed a job from a person. No, it's, I don't have the money for this beer, and I want that beer. So I'm going to get that beer, and this is the easiest way to do it.
Your position is people will say whatever the fuck they want to say to justify just the fact that they want shit and didn't want to pay for it.
Yes.
You're saying that all of these excuses are excuses.
I think this is one of those surveys where they start asking people these questions that they think are unbiased scientific questions, where they're trying to get to the core of this.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're asking leading questions and making people rationalize this even more than they do.
Yeah.
I think if you're likely to steal from the self-checkout, it's probably just because you want to steal from the self-checkout, man.
Another thing that people said is maybe they should just have a machine that can scan my bag without me taking things out of it. Then I couldn't do that.
Maybe they should have a machine that just wags a finger at you disapprovingly.
Yeah.
If all it takes is that social reinforcement.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just an automaton human that's just like so disappointed.
It looks like a cross between an Aibo and Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yeah, it's got big eyes.
Yeah, like just big old robot eyes that see everything.
They like moisten up and tear up a little bit, and just one outside the cheekbone just rolls down.
That robot doesn't need to cry. They didn't have to make it cry, but they did. And the only thing that makes it cry is you stealing. Oh. You did that.
Why?
You did it.
Why?
Do you know each and every one of those robots, this has not been proven, but they say that each and every one of those robots bears a striking resemblance to poor, deceased Janet Emerson Albertson.
Yeah. If you look at it just from the right angle.
If you look at those robots, They all look like a sad, crying girl.
Also, in their chest is a combo TV VCR that plays a PSA on loop about spending time with your kids. The cat's in the cradle and the silver
Have you
spoon.
ever thought about stealing from the self-checkout?
Not until I read this article.
And now you're thinking about doing it like at the
No,
second we
it
wrap
seems
up.
too easy. I wonder if this is the end of. I mean, is this how we lose? Is this why we can't have nice things?
We're gonna lose our self-checkout privileges?
I like self-checkout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bummer that human beings don't have jobs. It's replacing jobs, and that's a bummer. But I'm a man of precision. I go to the store. I have 2 things I need to buy. I go in. I grab them. I only use the hand cart. I don't use the full roll cart. I hate that. If I go with my wife, she always wants the roll cart because we're there. It's like a day excursion to go to the grocery store. Me, I'm in. I'm out. I got 2 things. I'm going to the self-checkout aisle. Bing, bang, boom. I'm out. Carrots. TV VCR, I'm in the car. Driving home.
You come home with carrots and a TV VCR, and your wife goes, why didn't you just bring the list, grab a cart? We literally didn't need either of these things.
Right, but I did it fast.
Literally no one wants baby carrots or a TV VCR.
Yeah, but I got a really good parking space.
Except for
I was
one
in and out.
little girl.
Yeah.
One poor, sad little girl.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
But that need for efficiency is, I think, why we are not going to lose the self-checkout, because people have crunched these numbers. There are smart people up the chains in these grocery stores.
Yeah, Mr.
And they're
Albertson.
going, yeah. And when David Alexander Albertson looks at it, he goes, look, people who are going to steal are going to steal.
Right.
And we know what
Steelers
percent.
be stealing, he says.
Steelers be stealing.
Yeah. Don't hit the player, hit the game, he says.
If those people are going to steal, they're going to steal no matter what. What we need is we need to eliminate human error from the checkout process, and we need to speed up the checkout process so we can get more customers in and out throughout the day.
Yeah.
That's what we need, because that's how we're going to make the most money. And if every once in a while somebody sticks some baby carrots or a TV VCR down their pants and walks out, that's totally fine. Because guess what? We don't sell TV VCRs. How did they get that? Where did it come from?
They must have got a time machine.
What is going on?
Hey.
You brought that in just to pretend to steal it. You have other problems.
Yeah, just to make a point to Mr. Albertson to bring up some horrible memories. That's what that's about.
Don't try to break David Alexander Albertson's heart. It's already been broken.
It's already been broken. That's
She
how
died.
his daughter died.
She died, and now he funds child criminals. It's over. It's too late to save him.
Yeah.
Steal your carrots.
There's still some good in him.
I don't think there
I
is.
feel it.
I've seen him. I've seen him standing at the window of that watchtower that they have in every Albertsons.
The Albertsons watchtower.
Where he looks down
Over the meat
from
department.
his perch. Yeah,
It's
over the meat department. It's over
Yeah.
the meat department, and he
Yeah.
stares down, hands behind his back, standing in a military position disapprovingly.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
A team of butchers underneath him.
He
just
can't
chopping
be
meat.
saved.
You're right. Can you be saved though, Anthony? I know you talk a big game about being such a bad boy and a thief. I don't think you actually
Master
steal
thief,
now.
thank you. I actually call myself a master thief.
But that's only because you steal master's degrees from people.
Just right off of walls.
Just take
I have
them right off.
30 master's degrees,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm allowed to host a show about science and technology.
Can't get that PhD though. It's
No.
it's still
No, they
outside
keep
of
them
your
really
reach.
high up, and I'm a little guy. It's a law. You have to keep, the better your degree is, the higigher up you have to keep it.
That's true.
That's why, because we had too many 8-year-olds
you must
pretending to be doctors. Now
you
they
must
have to be pirates.
You must be this tall to have a PhD. That's what they say.
That's
it's
what
just
they
like,
say.
It's just like getting on a ride at Disneyland.
And I want a PhD. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go back to Oz, motherfucker. You're not wanted here.
Honestly, does this make you?
I don't steal anymore.
I know you don't.
I don't steal anymore.
Do you think it actually incentivizes thieves?
Yes, because it's easy. I don't think it has anything to do with this guilt. I think it's just like, I look at that, especially if you're a smarter shoplifter, because I think the real reason they're not pulling self-checkout out is because most shoplifters don't think to properly use self-checkout in their strategy. I think they're still using the old classics. I think they're using the down the pants. I think they're using I think they're using the walk out with the cart without even going through checkout. I think they're using all the old tricks.
Just bolt.
Yeah.
The old
just bolt with a pant full of meat.
Yeah.
Oh, the old bolt with a pant full of meat. Those were the days. I don't think anybody thinks about poor old people in the Albertsons Corporation right before they steal. I don't think that...
Even subconsciously? You don't think that has anything to do with it? That there's not a person looking at me, it's only a computer looking at me?
Maybe on a subconscious level, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're likely to steal, you're likely to steal no matter what.
I think that's probably true.
I think some people are bad.
Bad apples.
And they cannot be reformed no
Bad
matter what.
baby carrots.
And they should just be made to sail around with the child pirates. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a guilt thing? Do you think this is a humanity thing?
Have you ever stolen
is it
from a
ease?
self-checkout?
Yeah, because I feel like
now I feel
90% of us are gonna say yes. What do you think?
90?
90%.
No. You think I'm in 10% of the people right now?
Yeah.
Because I've never done it, nor did it ever even occur to me.
Yeah.
That's how dumb I am.
Yeah.
You think only 10%?
Yes.
All right, we are the 10%. I want to hear from people on Twitter.
And just hashtag that child pirates. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And hey, if you are enjoying this show in its audio form,
what?
You should know that there is also a video form of the show too.
That's like double the enjoyment.
I know. There is a link to our YouTube channel in the description for this episode. We hope that you will visit. And hey, if you're watching the video version of this show,
there's an audio version.
There's an audio version of this show.
Half the enjoyment.
We do like 3 times as many of those. You should check that out at wehaveconcerns.com. And hey!
Whoa.
If you're not watching or listening to this show, I can't reach you. I don't know what to do.